Let's consider the logic flow for this rock, paper, scissors game. Let's say that player 1 threw paper. If we come through this code, this first if statement is going to be evaluated for true or false. It'll find out player 1 threw rock. In this case, player 1 threw paper, so this if statement evaluates to false. And it will continue on with our program. Next, it'll see if player 1 equals paper, and in this case it does. So it'll pop into this if statement and figure out what player 2 threw, and they will return the appropriate value. Now after it's done printing out something, it's going to exit out of this if statement. It's still going to evaluate this if statement, which we know will never be true because player 1 threw paper, player 1 did not throw scissors. So there's no need to check this third if statement because the second one was true. Consider the case where player 1 throws rock. If player 1 throws rock, it's going to evaluate this if statement, but it's also going to evaluate the second one and this third one. So our program is not as efficient as it could be. So rather than make separate if statements for all of our player 1 checks, we really only need to find the one time that player 1 throws something. So rather than make them if statements, we want to make them else if statements. This will adjust it so that if player 1 throws rock and does throw rock, it will no longer evaluate these other layers, these other conditions, because this one is true and it will exit out and continue on with our program. So if you have a case where you're trying to evaluate the same component for different values, more often than not, you're going to want to use else if statements for those additional comparisons and not separate them out into separate if statements. So after you've done that, consider what happens if there is a tie. These are tie situations. So a tie happens when player 1 and player 2 throw the same thing. So it doesn't matter whether it's rock, paper, or scissors. A tie happens whenever they throw the same thing. So we can implement that into our code if we consider taking out all these cases where it's a tie and pulling them out to the beginning and checking to see if they're equal. If what player 1 throws is equal to what player 2 throws, then we know that it's a tie. It doesn't matter whether it's rock, whether it's paper, or whether it's scissors. Now I'll have to adjust my if statement a little bit more because if player 1 throws and player 2 throw the same thing and it's a tie, there's still no need to check to see if player 1 threw rock. Our winner's already been determined. So I'm going to adjust this to become an else if statement as well. Now why wouldn't I want to put this check at the end? If you consider that player 1 throws paper, if I put this at the end, this one here will actually be true. Player 1 equals paper. So it'll do what's inside of this if statement because player 1 threw paper and it's true, and it would exit out, and then it would no longer reach the chance to check to see if player 1 is equal to player 2. So the order that you put your if statement conditions in does matter as well. So by eliminating all these duplicates where we say it's a tie, I've already shortened up my code quite a bit. And now that I've made these changes to my code, I'm actually going to reformat it so you can see where all the different levels are. You can use the keyboard shortcuts to reformat your code. It is Control-Shift-F or Command-Shift-F, and that will reformat it so that you can see where your different levels are. So we've already shortened this quite a bit. We can shorten it a little bit more as well. So one thing that you'll notice on the rubric is we discussed taking out the system.out.print lines so that we just print the winner at the end. So the reason we do this is twofold. Number one, we can shorten up our code by just printing who wins at the end after the decision has been made. And number two, that separates out our view from our decision. So our if statement is a decision structure. We just want it to decide who wins. We don't want it to decide who wins and print it out. For our case now, we want to use our system.out.print lines, but what happens if we want to change our view and do it through a web page? Or maybe we want to turn this into a method and print it to a web page. Just give us, or put it into a database. If we separate out our view from our decision, that gives us more flexibility on down the road of how we want to interact with this. One thing that you'll want to do is take all these system.print lines out of here and add and make one at the end. And this separates your view from your decision. I'm just going to create a variable called winner. I don't have one yet. So that will contain who the winner is. Right now it's not initialized anything. So in my decision structure, now I will just instead of doing system.out.println, I'll set my value to be winner. And I'm not going to do all these in the code right now, but you'll get the idea of how to separate out the view. And now whenever player 1 throws rock and player 2 throws paper, winner variable will be set to player 2 wins. After the decision structure is done, it'll print out whoever the winner is. Lastly, we can make our code even more efficient by setting a default winner. So we can say player 1 wins by default. And the only way we're going to change what is in winner is if player 2 wins. So now we no longer have to check to see if player 2 throws scissors, because unless player 2 threw paper, player 1 will win. And if player 1 and player 2 both throw rock, then the tie will be caught up here. So we can simplify these if statements even further so that we're only checking to see the cases where player 2 wins. This is what you'll also need to consider whenever you work on your rock, paper, scissors with the switch. You want to create a default winner and then only switch the winner value if the player 2 wins or if it's a tie. So our long code essentially turns into a nice small decision structure that checks to see if there is a tie, and then it only changes who the winner is if somebody other than player 1 wins. And then at the end, here is our view where we are printing out the winner. So if you did not receive a perfect score or a perfect score plus extra credit on this, you may revise your rock, paper, scissors and still have the opportunity to earn extra credit by Tuesday night of week 5. So when week 5 stuff is due, you would need to have your revision in for the opportunity to earn full points along with extra credit if you'd like to take that opportunity. You may also revise and resubmit the rock, paper, scissors with the switch to make it more efficient as well. So consider your if statements, make sure that you only have one, make sure that you're only switching a winner if you need to, and make sure that you've got your view separated out from your if statements.